I love my coffee on my day off. Oh, it's so nice to have a coffee on my day off. I can relax and enjoy it. It's not like I have to get up and have a coffee and stay awake for a couple hours and then go back for a nap later on in the afternoon and then go back to work. Not that I'm belly aching, but yeah, it's nice having a day off and enjoying my coffee. Nights are a little bit funky. I'm getting used to them, but the sleep pattern is still not there yet. Hopefully that'll come around soon. Well, folks, I love my garage, so sorry for doing the show here, but I think you like it here, and I do too. And it's not as if I don't want to do it in my office, but this is my favorite place in the house, actually, besides my office, is the garage. I have my library up in my office, which is awesome. But having a family, it's kind of tough going in there a lot and spending time in there. I get to do that every once in a while, but when the house is busy and you're doing stuff around the house and you're with your wife and son, and I'm not complaining that I'm with them, but it's like sometimes I'd like to spend a little bit more time in my office with my library. So I bring all my books out of my library and down in the garage and outside and in the house. So I have really ample access to truth. So I'm able to grab it wherever I'm at in the house. I have books everywhere. It's amazing. I look in the living room, I look on the kitchen table, I look out in the back deck, I look in the garage. I have books everywhere. In my bedroom. It's nice. So I can always find something. If I'm thinking something, see, that's it. If you have access to the material and you're thinking on a topic, I'm able to grab the scriptures right away. I'm able to grab some material right away and look it up. So it's quick access. That's a good thing. Quick access to the truth. Today I'm going to read a couple passages of scripture along this line of the adversary, of course, because this is the topic I'm speaking about. And I'm going to actually look up the scriptures today. The scripture passages are here, and I usually give them to you to look up. But today I want to look them up myself. So, see, my scriptures are right here. And I only had to do that in 5 seconds. Boop, boop. I have my scriptures. Okay. Are not these futile efforts to find a foundation for the primeval perfection of the devil, a tactic admission that no actual evidence exists? More than that, are they not desperate devices to disprove the clear, unequivocal statements that the adversary is sinning from the beginning? And the first passage I want to look up is 1 John. You can look it up with me. So grab your scriptures. If you have them right next to you, grab them. 1 John chapter 3, verse 8. And you see, while I'm looking it up here, you can look it up there. 1 John. So go to 1 John, which is after Peter. And you should find chapter 3, verse 8. So let's go there. All right, here it is. Plain and unequivocal. I even have it highlighted, and underlined. Highlighted and underlined here. And a cross-reference to it. Okay. Yet he who is doing sin is of the adversary. For from the beginning is the adversary sinning. Okay, so that was 1 John chapter 3, verse 8. Now we got another passage here that corresponds with it. So a cross-reference. Let's find that. John 8:44. And actually, before looking that up, I had a cross-reference right there. John 8:44. So look it up. The book of John. Not 1 John, but the book of John. This is going to take a minute. So that's why I'm getting you to, even if you got to go across the room or into another room to find your scriptures, you got time to do it. This is taking a minute. Sorry. Here we go. John 8:44. And I have that highlighted as well, and some side notes. So I'll show you that. Just 1 second here. So see that? So that's all highlighted and underlined, and stuff written on the side of it. Important information. And that's why, don't be afraid to write in your scriptures. Write everywhere. Highlight, underline. Go through the pages. You should see Brother Martin's scriptures. They're falling apart, but he still has them. And he has them written everywhere. And that's what I have here. Written, highlighted, cross-referenced, everything. See, this is a student of the scriptures. Somebody who actually goes into it and actually reads it, but puts the notes. Puts the actual notes and highlights where it needs to be highlighted, then it's more easier to find. John 8:44. Hope you have that right now in front of you. You are of your father the adversary, and the desires of your father you are wanting to do. He was a man killer from the beginning, and does not stand in the truth, for the truth is not in him. Whenever he may be speaking a lie, he is speaking of his own. For he is a liar and the father of it. So actually that's John 8:44 through 45. So those two passages right there. That proves that the adversary was right from his origin, right from his creation, period, has been a liar and a murderer and the adversary. He was created that way. He did not fall from some place. Some realm fell and just ran away from God. That's according to Christendom. Their teaching sucks. And their teaching is heinous and lies. That's it. It perverts something that is sound and perfected by God. Okay, so he was a man killer from the beginning. And he was also a liar and the father of it. Having disposed of passages which cannot be connected with Satan, it may be well to inquire whether we have not overlooked some of which really have a bearing on his origin. We are perfectly safe so long as we keep to the titles given him in the scriptures: serpent, adversary, and Satan. Is there any suggestion as to who brought the serpent into existence? It should not be any question at all. Who formed him? Who created him? Who? God himself created the adversary the way he is. And he's been that way right from his origin. Okay, so here is another vital passage of scripture in the Hebrew scriptures. Okay, the book of Job. Find that. I don't have that one right here because it's a huge Bible. If you look at the concordant version of the Old Testament, it's like this big, huge book. It's huge, man. So carrying around that's a little bit of a weight. It's up there in my office, but I'm not going to go grab that one, okay? But I want you to look it up later if you have to. That's fine. Job chapter 26, verse 13. And this is how the Authorized Version reads it. His hand hath formed the crooked serpent. Or, in the Concordant Version, it's the fugitive adversary. The fugitive serpent. No, the fugitive serpent. Okay, so his hand hath formed the crooked serpent. That clearly states that God formed him. God made him the way he is. If this were the utterance of one of Job's friends, we might well beware. Let it be merely human philosophy. For the Lord said, Ye have not spoken of me the thing that is right, and as my servant Job hath. I love those words, hath, and thou, and thee, and art. Job chapter 42, verse 7. Besides, we must be careful to check the translation of the vital expressions. The revisers changed form to pierced. Yet the same word in chapter 39, verse 1 is left, the hinds do cad. Okay, so that's in 39, verse 1. There is more consistency between form and calf than pierce and calf. Yet, the revisers have made a change in the right direction. The Hebrew word chul, C-H-U-L, refers to the travail which accompanies birth. And you can find all that in the book of Isaiah. So read the whole book and you'll find it. As Martin would say, Brother Martin, he's funny. Read the whole book and you'll find it. So that means if you want to find it, you have to spend some time in the scriptures. So go back to study, and there you go. Read the whole book, chapter, the whole book, actually, and you'll find it. When Eliphaz that's one of Job's friends there, used this word, the translators themselves rendered it, the wicked man travaileth with pain. Job chapter 15, verse 20. And the revisers concur. This it will be seen, is allied to both farming and piercing. How incongruous pierce will be seen if we should render Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 18, thou hast forgotten God that pierced thee. They had forgotten that the God who had suffered in the travail of their birth. Okay, coming back to the topic here. To the serpent, Job declares that by his spirit the heavens are made seemingly. Travailed has his hand with the fugitive serpent. Travailed. So it was a matter of power, I believe. When he formed the adversary, it was power. It wasn't intricacy. It was actual full-blown-on power. His power. And that's how powerful our adversary is. That's how powerful the adversary of God is. Okay? He formed him that way. He made him a powerful creature. How would he spread such evil through the universe? He would do it through the adversary. So there you go. The adversary is a powerful creature. Do not ever think that you can cast him out or whatever. It's funny because Orthodox religion and Christianity, that's what they do. They cast him out. Oh, get away from thee, Satan. Oh yeah, all this crap. They use that passage of scripture, I believe, where Jesus was tempted in the wilderness and where Jesus actually casted out Satan. He's the only one that could, okay? The Son of God is the only one that could have casted out the adversary or Satan. We can't do it. So all you funky people in the churches there that are casting out demons and casting out Satan, you might as well go back to bed because it's not working. He's still there no matter what. He is a powerful creature, okay? He's influencing mankind. He is influencing right now. The physical universe he is influencing. He is in control of that. Note the contrast between the garnishing of the heavens by his spirit and the painful production of the serpent by his hand. Garnishing. Okay, sorry about that word there. The spirit is used of intimate and vital association. The hand holds its work at a distance. Okay, so there you go. God's power at a distance. Boom. There's the adversary. And suggests power and skill rather than communion. The immediate application of these lines is, of course, to the material heavens, the physical universe, like I said. But no one who has studied the stars and their relation to Holy Writ will fail to see a far deeper meaning. The stars are often used as figures of celestial powers. And in the ancient constellations, both Draconis and serpents have always represented the Satan of the scriptures. The dragon's tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven. Revelation chapter 12, verse 4. This does not prove that we have here a divine description of Satan's origin, but it is ever so much nearer a demonstration than the passages which are usually produced. The Septuagint reads, yet locks of heavens dread him. Yet locks of heaven dread him, and by an edict he puts to death the dragon apostate. We have not been able to reconcile this and the Hebrew text, which seems in this case to be superior, for the context seems to call for God's revelation of himself in nature, past and present, not the future which was not in evidence. But there is one more link which will put the matter beyond question. Now only is the term serpent, Hebrew, Nchsh, the same as the name of Eve's tempter in Eden's garden, in Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. But Isaiah describes it precisely the same terms, the fugitive serpent. Fugitive. Not the crooked, but the fugitive serpent. That's the proper way, the fugitive serpent, to translate that. Isaiah chapter 27, verse 1, and I'll read it. In that day shall God be punishing with his sword, holy and great and steadfast. The dragon, the fugitive serpent, and the dragon, the sinuous serpent, and he kills the monster which is in the sea. Isaiah chapter 27, verse 1. The context clearly shows that this will be when the Lord comes to visit the depravity of earth's dwellers upon them. Isaiah chapter 27, verse 21. Its connection with the 12th chapter of the unveiling is too close to deny if Satan is that ancient serpent. Revelation chapter 20, verse 2. How can we help identify him with Isaiah and Job and Genesis? All will acknowledge Genesis and Isaiah, as precisely the same name and descriptive term is used in Job as in Isaiah. The evidence is as conclusive as it can well be. The fugitive serpent of Job is the same as the fugitive serpent of Isaiah. The fugitive serpent of Job, authorized version crooked, and Isaiah seems to refer to the constellation serpents, for it flees from the grasp of Ophiuchus, Ophiuchus. The crooked serpent of Isaiah may be Draco or Draconis, the constellation, which winds its way among the northern stars. The unveiling in Isaiah give us his end. Genesis and Job give us his beginning. He is not introduced to us in the garden as an angel of light. There you go again. Though such be simulates today. Such he simulates today. Okay, so the world looked at it like that. Like he was some perfect angel in a garden. And he come along, and he was so lovely, right? He was not the fugitive serpent. He is deceiving. He is so deceiving. So there you go. He wasn't an angel or some holy creature that became wicked of his own accord. No. The one who has garnished the heavens, his hand was pinned with the travail of bringing forth the serpent. Travail. Hard work. That was hard work. That was form. That was power. That was outstretched arm to form that adversary. It is well to seek for truth in its proper place. The judgment of Tyre and Babylon is no place to look for the origin of Satan. So just take that right out of the picture. Isaiah chapter 14, Ezekiel chapter 28 does not refer to Satan or Lucifer. There you go again. Job, however, is speaking of the creation of the universe and the manner of its making. God hangs the earth on nothingness. The clouds and the sea are all displays of his power. So in the heavens, He it is who made it all. It is an elaboration of the great truth that all is of God. Romans 11:36. We are now able to appreciate the peculiar term which has puzzled the translators, so that some render it formed, others pierced. It is formed, actually. The woman was not the first to travail in pain because of sin. Jehovah travailed when Satan was formed. Sin and pain appear together. Satan is now transformed into an angel of light, and many of the Lord's own receive him as such. An angel of light. Transformed into an angel of light. How do you think what's coming? Okay, the Antichrist, or instead of Christ. He is coming. Literally, and he will be human, and I believe he will be killed, murdered, before Satan enters him. And he will be the next one Satan will enter, besides Judas Iscariot. And literally, he will stand up. That'll be the first amazing miracle the whole world has ever seen. He will raise from the dead right in front of them. Right? And that is something else. Okay. So, Satan is not an angel of light and then ran away from God. No. He is the adversary that God formed. And I am emphasizing that. I'm saying it over and over and over on purpose. Okay? So you get it. Figure it out. It's straight up truth. Straight up truth. And that's what I'm giving you. Straight up truth. It's a long show today. I hope you like it. The deception is no greater than his successful entrance into theology and hoodwinking many great and grand servants of Christ into believing that he actually was an angel of light at the first. Okay, so that's the end of that chapter. That is awesome. I am so happy to be able to give you that truth. It's exciting, because then you'll actually get a picture of what God is doing, how he's going to reconcile his universe, why he needs to estrange it first in order to bring it back to himself. Why? Why does he have to create all this havoc? Why couldn't he made it perfect at first? No, he did not. And he did not make the adversary perfect at first. He formed him exactly the way he is. A fugitive serpent. Bottom line. I'm just having a puff at the end of my show because it's my day off. I love you all. Grace and peace. Have a great day in the Lord. You can call me if you want today. I'm off.